Hello, everyone. Welcome to another. Yeah, I got you. Wait. What are you looking at? Pay
Trying to
attention.
defend myself, man.
You're working now. Gosh. Okay.
Let's go, man. Now you're being nasty to me. Okay.
Welcome to another live show. We need like a name for this show. Like, I feel like it needs like a name, but we'll think
Let the
about
fans
that
do
later.
that, man.
But another live show where we have tons to talk about. So make sure you guys are in the chat, letting us know what you guys are thinking and feeling, all that type of stuff. Obviously, there's stuff with Ben White that we need to talk about. The positive is that he's signed a new deal. The negative is that Southgate is prick. So we'll talk about that. And I also want to talk a little bit about Arsenal preparing for Ramsdale's exit. We have been linked to several backup goalkeepers, and I want to get DG's thoughts on that. And yeah, so make sure you guys are in the chat and all that kind of stuff. And we also need to get DG's kind of like feelings and stuff about Brentford and Porto, even though we just spoke about it on his channel here. I want to also, kind of grill him a little bit because he deserves a little bit of a grilling. So, yeah.
I don't know about any of that, but go on. I don't know about that. Well,
so,
I'm in the lines
then. Listen, I have a poll going so you guys can vote on what you want to talk about first. Benny Blanco signs, Ramsdale replacements, and why is Jessica better than DG? So those are your options. So make sure you guys are voting.
I mean, I'm like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We don't compare ourselves to other people, man. Like, fair enough. We're not concerned with that, man.
Oh, this is like a really good. Yeah, she deluded. Yeah.
To be fair, that's creative, man. It's a good one, T. Shout out yourself. That's creative, man. Run with that.
Nice. So, I want to get into Brentford and Porto, but first, I wanted to ask you about this. So for those of you that cannot see this, I'm going to make it full screen. I just want you guys to just
What's wrong with that?
With me really quick. Just stick with me really quick. So the other day,
I can't believe where this is going.
DG was giving somebody prop, and I said, N. Kiwior, and he, instead of saying, yes, Jessica, N. Kiwior, he said, shaking my head, auntie forever lying on me.
Yes, auntie, man. Why are you lying, man? Come on, man. I thought you meant to be older and wiser, man.
Forever lying on me. Is this you? Is this your account?
I don't know, man. Is that AI? I think so. I don't know. It could be photoshopped. It could be AI. I don't know, man. No.
Okay. Well,
is that mine? That could be management.
Account, and auntie is a huge offense. Jailable.
It's not, man. You're getting gracious with old age, man. Getting wiser than that.
Jailable in some places. How do you plead?
Not guilty all the way. What do you mean? Not guilty? I don't know, officer. I don't know nothing. I ain't guilty for that.
This is so uncalled for. First of all, you're like 29. I'm only 5 years older than you.
Damn, that's a long time, man. Damn.
No, it's not.
Damn. You just you're a real 90s baby. Damn.
I mean, 90s babies are the best.
Yeah, but obviously I came through at the right time. 95, isn't it? Like the right time.
95. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that this is a punishable offense, and I feel like you have to say something nice about me now to even it out.
She knows
Because I was
Arsenal.
super rude and
She
you
knows
did me
Arsenal.
so dirty on the timeline. Now people think I'm super old and I'm not. So yeah, your apology is
Listen, you know you look nice, man. It's calm. Like, you know, for a 50-year-old, you look lit, man. You know,
not 50. Okay, let's see what you look like in 5 years.
I'm a babyface killer. I'm still gonna be handsome. Now I know that much. Damn,
You've
man.
aged since I've seen you first.
Arsenal do that to you, man. Arsenal do that to you.
I'm
But
gonna find one
Arteta's
of our
giving you
first
young
shows
looks.
together so we can compare it side to side. I'm holding up real well.
I mean, I'm just gonna. I think I'm the most sexiest YouTuber there is when it comes to
You
Arsenal.
said that on
Definitely
the
worth considering.
timeline, and I was like,
Yeah,
if I
100%.
didn't exist.
100%. No, we're talking about men. Well, pause, but we're talking about men. Like, I definitely am. What? You got Robbie, but am I going to say Robbie and that? Like, come on. Like, shout out Robbie, man. He didn't deserve that, man. Robbie's my guy, but yeah.
I didn't deserve to be called an auntie, but fair enough. Fair enough. You are guilty, and you will pay for that. You definitely will for the next couple of weeks because I was like, wow, he really came for my neck. What? Let's see who's all in here. Let's see who's all in here. Tawana says something went down with Ben and the England squad staff. We'll definitely chat about that. Cadoza says, yo, DG Nation here. I got you, broski. I guess people are gonna have your back here. I guess they feel like you need a little bit of backing here. Yeah, probably.
I can't like look at the chat because if you're taking me to court, boy.
I mean, you can't hold
shout
your
out
own.
Samuel.
I'm representing myself in the court of law. You need backup. I'm good.
I'm defending myself. As I always say in my intros, I let the people decide. I plead my case. I'm in your house, you know. This is what they're saying. I didn't bring them here. I just see you criticize Ben White for the most of the time. I'm just commenting on what I see, man. Like,
okay. Damn. Boy said, still don't rate Kiwior. Good that he's found a purple patch, though. Damn. Is this you in the chat?
No, because he's talking about you respectfully. He's saying use Carl Hine when we sell Ramsdale. I'm not for that. So it can't be me. It can't be me. But shout him out, man. He knows bull.
Samuel says, Jess, you criticize Ben White most of the time. I've actually very rarely criticized Ben White. Now, at the beginning, like I said, I always say this is my worst take ever. And I've had a couple, but this is my worst take ever was when I said, when we were first linked to Ben White, I said, is he even better than Rob Holding? That is my worst ever take. And I held that for a very long time. But since then, he's been my favorite. So, or one of. So there you go. Blaze says, Gareth Southgate said, Ben White doesn't want to play for England. Interesting why. We'll definitely talk about that. And I know you guys want to talk about that first, and we will get into it. Don't worry, you guys. But we have to get DG's thoughts and feelings about Brentford and Porto on a scale of 1 to 10. How stressful were those two games for you? Because for me, I could have went to the hospital. They both stressed me out way too much.
Damn, nah, don't say that. Good health for everyone in the chat, man. Hopefully not, man. I mean, let's not say that. Scale of 1 to 10, Brentford, probably about a 5, if I'm honest with you. 20 out of 10 moments for Ramsdale's mistake. Porto, maybe a 7, not necessarily in how we approach the game and the outcome, because I thought we'd get it done. But as a fan, you know, you've got a bit of ants in your pants. You want us to just score a goal or two and kind of flip the game on its head sooner rather than later. So, yeah, man, I would say that, man. Where do you want me to start in terms of reviewing the games?
Yeah, I would just say, like, with Brentford, like, how did you feel about the way that we started the game? Did you think we played well? And what do you think Ramsdale's mistake comes down to? You know, is it just he's not like he doesn't concentrate? Is it he was rusty? Like, what do you think?
Honestly, it's one where how we're doing an interview here or talking on the channel here, I wish I could ask Aaron Ramsdale. I think it's a bit of everything. I think it's a lack of concentration from him. I think it is a bit of, you're lacking in confidence because you know this could be your last game. Everything you do is going to be highlighted. Raya's the hero. And after the Brentford game, obviously we'll get onto that, but it got even more. I actually think it might have been a bit of overconfidence potentially from Ramsdale because he reacted to the mistake, big him up with some big saves. But I actually feel the same against Liverpool in the FA Cup. But I think in the Brentford game, he started well. Like, you know, he had that lovely throw for Trossard, which Trossard couldn't score. I think he attempted to do the Raya passing stuff from the goal, from these goal kicks, and it isn't quite Raya. So I think he started well. I do think generally when you play out from the back, you sign up for mistakes like that with any keeper. Obviously with Ramsdale, they're too frequent. And it comes down to this decision making. I understand that comment about being rusty, but, you know, it's a split-second decision. You've got a ball out to Saliba. December, or you could have done something else. Now, I watched that game again. I don't know football like Ramsdale. I don't know what Arteta's asked you to do. I don't know what you saw. And I've never been in a high pressurized environment where you only have a split second to think about stuff. But it looked like he's trying to find Saka, and Saka's marked. So I couldn't understand it. So I think it's a bit of everything with Ramsdale, if I'm honest with you, Jess.
Yeah, he's just, I mean, I don't know. He's a good young goalkeeper that definitely has a style that I think suits teams that get battered more. Where you can be really concentrated. And that's where maybe like he was really good in the teams that were getting relegated because like they were under pressure a lot. I'm not sure that he's really come to grips with the style that we play and the level of concentration that's required. That being said, like he made some really, really good saves, like you said. And, you know, I wish him nothing but the best. You know, I think that he has been really good for us. And I wanted to point this out too, that like I understand why people are so upset about the Ramsdale thing, because that initial group that we got of like Tommy, Odegaard, White, Ramsdale, that kind of started everything. Once we bought those players, like obviously Gabriel and Partey were already here, but once we bought those players, we started to really see like a style of play, and we started to like the team again. And so we became very attached to that group. From here on out, anybody that leaves, which again, some of these players are not going to be with us for the full, like, you know, it's going to hurt, you know, so I can understand like Ramsdale's like the first player from that group to be like fully kind of like cut off. So I totally get it. But Raya comes up big against Porto. How massive of a performance was that for Raya, you think personally? And how do you think the fan base views him now post Porto than how they did before?
I think until Raya has one of those crazy games where he's called into action, I think not everyone will necessarily be convinced. Obviously, we've got a lot better defensively, so he's going to be not called into action as much. I still think there's question marks, just like with anyone with Raya, but it should give him a great boost. Anyway, you're a penalty hero, innit? You need big up all the players that scored their penalties, but you need Raya to stand up to be counted. And even if you go back to the Porto game in the first half, Raya had to make 2 big saves. So I think Raya deserves it. I do think it was a bit of a circus when Raya came in at the Emirates. I don't think a lot of the rhetoric and talking points and conclusions that were drawn whenever Ramsdale or Raya was in and everything that was being scrutinized was fair to them. And I think Raya deserves it because I know he's obviously the penalty hero now and we've really hit a purple patch since the turn of the year. But I feel personally, around December, obviously excluding the results, I actually feel Odegaard and David Raya actually did quite well in the grand scheme of things. So long may it continue, really and truly, man. Anything that can give Raya confidence. He finally looks settled in terms of his teammates. I think the fans can accept, going back to what you said, in that not everybody's going to be here to get us to the promised land. You know, there's a method to Mikel Arteta's madness. Like when you look back at Ramsdale's situation, you know, if it happened for you, it can happen to you. You were the David Raya to Leno. And we all know that initially when Leno was here, we wanted David Raya at that moment. It wasn't possible. Arteta's gone back to his first love. So it is really and truly, if I'm honest. So yeah, big up Raya, man. I hope he does his thing. And I don't know for that comment, well, what people say about not contributing to clean sheets. He's the effing goalie. I definitely feel there's been moments where Raya could have done a lot better. And kind of what you asked me, you know, when he initially came into the club and you look at the Chelsea mistake, you look at where Declan Rice saved him against City, I don't think he was alone, but Luton, maybe there was a bit of nerves there, but I'm happy with Raya, man. At the end of the day, I just want Arsenal to win trophies, and I'm sure we all love Ramsdale, we all love Tierney. It happens. There could be a player that plays week in, week out just for us right now that might have to change. You know, I'd actually argue, unless your name is at this moment in time, Gabriel, Saliba, Declan Rice, Odegaard, Saka, and I might be missing out one, you could be disposable at some point.
Yeah, so, no, I agree with that 110%. And I did see Just Today said Ramsdale is just not at the maturity level right now to flourish in this Arsenal team.
I agree.
It's like this team is very, very young. And one thing that really stood out to me is when Raya did his post-match, you know, we kind of talked about it on your channel. It wasn't just like how he described how important a concentration is for a goalkeeper, because we know that Ramsdale needs to be involved. He needs to be talking to the fans and all that kind of stuff to stay concentrated. But it's also just like his level of maturity, you can just tell is different in the way that they speak. Like Ramsdale, when he was asked last season, like, you know, if we don't win the league, like, will it be a disappointment? He said something like, oh, well, no matter where we finish, it's fine. Like, at least we tried. When Raya was asked, does he want to win the Champions League or the
Both, innit?
Premier League? He said both, like that. And I think there's a maturity level and also like I don't want to say like it's like a confidence and like a willingness to say we're going to win something or I want to win something. And I kind of wish some more of our players would be a little bit more about that life and say, yeah, we want to win both. I feel like sometimes we tip
Even Saka
around.
was a bit nervous to
I
say
was
both,
going to
really.
say
Yeah.
that. I was going to say that. And I was a little bit disappointed that he didn't just say both, because sometimes, like, even if we don't win it,
Mentality,
I
innit?
want to know that you feel like we can, and I feel like sometimes our players tiptoe around the conversations. Raya just has like a different vibe about him, which I really like. Speaking of Saka, it wasn't good, was it?
I didn't
Against
see it, so I can't really comment on it. But yeah, man, Saka, when he needed to
did a
stand
watch
up
along.
for a penalty. Hmm?
You did a watch along.
Did I? Well, it could have
Yeah.
been AI. You never know, man. Yeah, no, banter aside, you got me. Yeah, it was poor from Saka, man. Like Saka, Wendell had you in his pocket. You need to moments like that. You want to see your star boy do better. I don't know if it's because how Porto set up, because I don't feel in an attacking sense we was amazing. I feel really only Kai Havertz, Odegaard, and obviously my man Kiwior, my guy that I've always believed in, Kiwior. They were probably the standouts with Raya, but. Yeah, man, Saka didn't do his job, but when we needed him to score a pen, he did, innit? And ultimately, Saka's dying, but going to live or die better yet by the high standards he set for the club, man. And I don't feel he was terrible, but he was underwhelming. I feel kind of what we said on my channel. I think Saka and Saliba, these kind of moments is where, as great as they are, you kind of see their age and to a degree where they're at. But yeah, man, it is what it is. It's nice, really. When you go back a few years ago, Jess, and if me and you were doing these videos, if Ramsdale made a mistake, we're probably talking about a different result. If Saka weren't at it, we're probably talking about a different result, definitely in the knockout stages of a Champions League tie. So it's nice that Saka can be the star boy. And when he has an off day, other people are standing up to be counted. Because reality is, it's not necessarily about performances and all that in the champs. Just get the job done. I could argue with 10 games left in the Premier League. As I said on my channel, I don't look at the league table, but just get the job done. And if this is what we have to do, this is what we have to do, man.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to glaze over the Kiwior thing because I know you wanted to go over it like super quickly, but we
Leave me alone, man.
we have to talk about Odegaard, but like he's the obvious one. But seriously, Kiwior has really kind of like solidified himself in this period. He's played really well since coming in at halftime against Liverpool. Like since then, he's been really good. And it's just like interesting. Like I feel like what he adds is a little bit different. Like every single person that plays at left back adds a little bit something different. What do you feel like is Kiwior's best qualities that he adds to that position, and what do you think he can work on?
I think he's definitely worked on his final ball. I know all of his assists are not traditional assists, but he's been doing that. I think he could work on his final ball because I think against Brentford, he's at that sweet spot now where he's very confident. I felt against Brentford, you were being a bit erratic. You were being a bit like Zinchenko on the ball, like you were just passing it straight away and it wasn't going to someone. I don't think Kiwior is ever going to be an expansive fullback where he plays inverted as where he is now. I don't think there's much Kiwior can work on beyond the obvious. I would say whether you're going to play as a centre-half or left-back, I think he needs to defend better in wide channels and wide areas, because even if you go back to the Porto game and watch it again, people don't give Trossard the credit, but Trossard was tucking in as a left-back and Kiwior was becoming like another centre-half. So I would say it's more that. And one thing I like with Kiwior is I do think we'll revisit Kiwior trying an inverted fullback role. But right now, with the dynamics and everything at play this season, it's not something Arteta can bet on. So I'd say he's just probably going to play more as a traditional fullback, man. I'd just say for Kiwior, keep going, because I know you banter me for the Kiwior thing, but I think you'll admit one thing I have said is the man just needs some confidence. You haven't always looked like you believe you're meant to be here. You have looked like you're a bit shy, and I play with these guys on FIFA, etc. You go back to when we won the Community Shield, he was a bit shy to get to grips with the trophy. He looks like he genuinely believes in himself, and I think he's come into that's where life is funny, innit? Because had there not been injuries at left back, he might not have got that opportunity, but he has, and he's taken it and he's ran with it, and he's obviously ran with our collective good form. So I think Kiwior just needs to improve on that. I don't think he's ever going to be amazing on the ball. I think one thing I liked is, Arteta is hiding the weaknesses of certain players and enhancing what they're good at. make Benjamin White do the inverted thing. Kiwior, you do your traditional fullback stuff. So I just say keep going, man, really and truly. I think his passing could be a bit more accurate, but I'm not expecting you to be like Zinchenko. That's not your bread and butter. So just keep going, man, really.
Yeah, I think the one thing I would say is like, maybe I disagree just like a little bit slightly on Kiwior's. Like, I think he's a very good passer of the ball, to be honest. Like, I feel like that's his best quality. So yeah, that's kind of what he's known for, is his passing. Yeah.
Kiwior's known for his passing. What?
Yeah.
What?
Did you not do
Where?
a scouting report when we first got him?
Yeah, I did. But what? Kiwior's known for his passing. You're a professional footballer. You should be able to pass the ball, but known for your passing, really?
You know what I mean by known for your passing.
Really known for your passing? Then why can't you do the inverted role?
I mean,
you can't be known for it.
Learn it.
I'm not even trying to criticize him, but you can't be known for it.
This is the thing. I feel like because Ben White like got to that right back role so quickly and adapted to it like that, now we have like this unrealistic expectation that like every single center back that we buy to play in that role needs to be like
respectfully, Jess. I'm not even talking about Benjamin White. As I said earlier, I'm not even asking him to be like Zinchenko. I think your passing is decent.
Says Kiwior's best attribute is his passing. But
then he said his worst attribute is his pace, and everyone was waffling about his pace and how fast he is. There's no way you can look at Kiwior. Kiwior's a better defender than he is passer. So how? I understand when you invert, it's different positions.
Passing.
There's no way. His biggest strength is his passing, not his recovery tackles, not his ability to read the game. His passing.
Yeah. I feel like he just want him to be bad.
I don't want Kiwior to do bad. You play for Arsenal Football Club. The better you get, the more problems there are. What are you talking about? I don't hate Kiwior. Hate's a strong word. Hate's a strong word. I'm just saying, his best attribute is his passing. I didn't say he's not good at passing, but his best attribute is his passing. Is that what we're saying? His best attribute. Cool. I want to be proven wrong because I don't think it is. That's the beautiful thing about football. I'm not right. You lot are not right. I'm not wrong. You lot are not wrong.
But I feel like
I think
a couple of weeks ago, no one could see what he did well. And then now he's starting to really grow into it. So just give him some time. But
to be fair, you look last season, he showed what he's good at as well when he came in when the season was kind of written off. He's a good passer, but I wouldn't say that's his strength personally. I think he's got a lot of other qualities that aren't rated, if I'm honest with you. And I think with his confidence, he'll show it. I just wouldn't say his passing is his strongest thing. I didn't say he's not good at passing. But we'll see.
See how he's fighting for no reason, guys.
I'm not fighting. I'm just providing my opinion. Do you know what it is? Auntie, you're a gaslighter. I've clocked it. You're a gaslighter. You're a gaslighter, Auntie.
Are we moving past Zinchenko? And I'll caveat this by saying that Zinchenko had a disaster class when he came on against Porto.
Yeah, he was bugging out against Porto. To answer yes and no, I would say, Kiwior deserves this spot at this moment in time. I think, I can't. To some people, they'll sit here and say, "Oh, Timber's only played 50 minutes." We're talking about DG, but Timber seems like the next evolution. I think Tomiyasu is never going to be the most greatest in the final third, but prior to his injury, he was improving in the final third, and he offers a lot more stability. I think the system, unless Zinchenko improves dramatically, the system's leaving you to a degree. You're going to go from being one of the first names on the team sheet to being a rotational option. Arteta, in my opinion, had Zinchenko as like the prototype last year. You came to introduce us to the the inverted role, and you was a means to an end. But now it's a bit like with Pep. When they won the treble and they got better, they used to have Zini and these kind of guys, but then they got stronger 1v1 players all around the field. And I know on our channel, my channel, man said ours, we was talking about
that is my channel. That's my channel too.
Well, Artie, I don't want no more smoke, man. You already got me fighting for my life. But we was talking about how you didn't want Atletico Madrid. Now, I don't really want to see Zinchenko playing at Atletico because he's a flight risk in that. So it is leaving him right now. It's a weird one because I would play Kiwior ahead of Zinchenko, but it depends on the margins, really. If I want a bit more of attacking player, or I'm willing to accept Zinchenko's faults for what he gives me on the ball, then I might go with him. But at this moment in time, Zinchenko's rock bottom. Because like you said on my channel, these people have come back to fitness, but they don't walk back in the team because the people that have taken their chances, that have come in their void, doing their job, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Zinni.
I feel like from now until the end of the season, the only games that I really see like for Zinchenko to start is like Luton at home, because we just know it's going to be a game where we're going to have all this possession. But Kiwior, for me, in this last like stretch of games, has kind of jumped Zinchenko in the chain just a little bit. I still think he's behind Tommy / Timber. By the way, Timber's like 45 minutes and Community Shield is doing a lot of heavy lifting, because I think he's still everybody's number one choice based off like 100 minutes of football. But that's
I
fine.
think people need to allow him. I think people need to allow Timber to get back to full fitness. And you know yourself, all the people that are clamoring for Timber, when he comes back, looks rusty, makes a mistake, they're going to turn on him. But I wouldn't draw too many conclusions. I'm not like, you could see why you need a squad. Like, I wouldn't draw too many conclusions on saying Kyrill's number one, Zinchenko's done, Tomiyasu this, Timber that. We'll just have to see, man. I disagree slightly with you in that I think Zinchenko will play a lot more football than we're giving him credit for. But Kiwior doesn't deserve to lose that spot, and I don't want to see him lose that. And obviously, a lot can change in a week or two. Arteta might have different ideas, but if we're playing City tomorrow, Polish international Kiwior needs to play.
Yeah, exactly. Like, things can change very quickly. Like, if you would have said, like, in December that our best 11 would have Kiwior and Kai in it, I think we would have been like, and Jorginho, I feel like, huh?
Kai Havertz up front as well to add to what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Things can change very quickly. So yeah, we've kind of spoken about Brentford and Porto. I don't want to, like, if you guys want to get more into those two games, we actually talked about it a lot more on DG's channel, so you guys can go back and like watch that after. But I do kind of want to get into the Ben White stuff. Ben White is signing, or has signed, a new deal, and he's signed through 2028, which is great. What do you think Ben White's best attribute is?
His ability to listen. Actually, his ability to listen to what Mikel Arteta demands of him. In fact, if you're asking me, I would say it's his desire. Now, obviously, he's not blood and thunder. He's not slapping his chest and carrying on a certain sort of way that people, attribute the Premier League to. But he wants it. He's a, pardon my language, but he's a shithousery guy. He gets in verbal. He steps on heels. He's annoying like that. I think he's very intelligent. You have to be intelligent, whether you're playing as a traditional fullback, you're inverting, you've played centre half under Mikel Arteta. I think it's his want to implement what Mikel Arteta demands of him. I don't think he gets his credit. I don't think he gets his credit for his versatility and his intelligence. And people always misunderstand Benjamin White, in my opinion, because he sits there and says, I don't watch football and all of these things. That doesn't mean he doesn't watch his own games and want to improve. That doesn't mean he doesn't do his own homework. Really happy. In fact, you know what? His best attribute? Availability, man, because I don't think he gets enough credit, even when, it's well documented when Rob Holding, who you said was better than him, come out and said he's been playing with injuries and whatnot. Yep. I've got a lot of time for Benjamin White, man. Big up Benny Blanco. It's a shame that he's not in the England squad, but it's selfish as an Arsenal fan. Who cares?
He's very well-rounded. I like that about him. Like, he can overlap, he can invert, he's good on the ball, he's physical enough,
Improving in the final third as well, generally.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's very well-rounded and he's getting better. And I feel like he's one of Arteta's probably biggest coaching successes, because one, he was written off very early.
By who?
Huh?
By who? I mean, you get on to me
about Kiwior. Why who? Through this, I didn't write him off. As soon as he
rating him to Rob Holding's levels, the write-off, Jess, man. Come on, Artie, man. You're 5 years older.
Goodness. Like, see how you are. It's been 3 years. Get over it. Move on. Like, come on. So, but he's one of Arteta's biggest coaching successes, I think.
100%.
Because he's come leaps and bounds. Like, and he was already good when he first came. Like, I think that Brentford thing was just like a first game. Like, I don't think people actually genuinely remember. Like, we had Nketiah and Sambi and Emil and like all the kids out there because Aubameyang and Lacazette had freaking COVID. Like, it was a very bad way to start the season.
Dark time for this football club, man.
It was super dark. And it's so funny that like Raya was in the goal, like at that time.
Such is life, isn't it? Yeah. Funny how things work.
And Tony was on the pitch too, but he'll never be an Arsenal player, which is amazing.
Thank God.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, I think he's one of the biggest success stories. And like, I watched like a comp the other day that had like Gary Neville talking about Ben White like a dog, just like, oh, everybody's going to target him. Oh my gosh, a 50 million, da, da, da. And then it like went into Benny Blanco's, like his time at Arsenal. He was good at center back. He's been good at right back. He's been fantastic. So I'm happy about the contract. Now, all this nonsense with Southgate, I don't really understand why he felt the need to throw Ben under the bus like that. I felt like it's kind of rude, but what are your feelings on the whole Southgate thing? Like, I know that's like selfishly, we don't really care that he's going to England, but do you think like, I mean, if you leave Qatar from the World Cup, it had to have been a big bust up, right? Like, I don't know, like, what do you think about the situation just in general? It feels very strange, and it feels like there's definitely bad blood there because he did not have to throw him under the bus like that. What do you think about the situation just in general with Southgate and England and Ben?
It's one that you wish you could be a fly on the wall in honesty, because as you know, there's
Yeah,
three sides to every story. There's Southgate and his coaching staff side, there's Benjamin White, and then there's the God honest truth, which we'll never know. It is a bit weird. I just genuinely don't know. I don't know what's been said. I don't know what's happened. It's annoying because I know Ben White, apparently doesn't want to get called up for England. Maybe that's because of a backdrop of that. But it is sad that one of the best performing players isn't going on playing with their nation. It's just a shame, is all I could say. It's an absolute shame. Like I don't know why. I've never got the vibe, even before that, like this whole stuff, that Southgate's necessarily been convinced on him. So I
same.
think it's that, and it's just that, you know what, fuck him off then, really and truly.
Yeah,
So there must be something, man. I don't know if I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if there's, I can't say it's not or it is discipline issues, but Benjamin White's never had one with Mikel Arteta, and he seems like a credit to the club. So I assume you're gonna give a good account of yourself for England. Honestly, I don't know, Jess, man. I don't know. Maybe he's
it's
talking to his daughter or
just,
something. I don't
yeah,
know.
like it's so strange. And like until the coach changes, which I feel like will be a while because England loves Southgate, he won't get chosen. And it's unfortunate because I feel like he should be in the team. We spoke about that. But as an Arsenal fan, he
Who
won't be
cares,
getting
really?
any
Yeah,
love
man. I
actually.
want Southgate to, and it's like that comment said as well. Like I think TBG saying again, when you don't know all the variables, it's a bit weird because we've announced Ornstein last night said Ben White is going to go and do what he's doing, sign a new deal. Arsenal have made their announcement. Then we all knew Southgate weren't going to call him up, but then he's thrown a bit of shade in there, really and truly. So it can't be coincidental, really and truly, man.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know, man.
Like, and I just feel like Southgate is probably knows that Ben White's playing well, knows he's going to get asked about why he's not in the team, knows that there's not a good reason footballing wise why he's not there. So
Yep.
instead of just saying we didn't choose him, he had to, he said this and that, so it is what
The
it
fact that he
is.
said we had a call
Um,
last week is like, okay. And even that, like, he had a call last week. Was it a thing where Southgate tried to reach out to Arsenal and Edu, Mikel Arteta, and White made it clear he's not involved? And then he's like, hey, I'm sorry about not calling him up, but Arsenal was saying this. I don't know, man. Like, it's a weird
it's
situation, man.
so weird because I've never really seen anything like this like recently, but it is what it is. Like it's a happy day for Ben because I think deep down, like early on when he was getting called up, he did want it. Like I can imagine that he really wanted it. So it is probably like a sore spot, but he's loved by Arsenal and
Now it is what it is,
you
isn't
know,
it? Yeah.
it is what it is. Exactly. So let's see what you guys are saying.
Sad.
O'Malley saying Benzema. I mean, like from an Arsenal player going into a setup and having like some sort of like beef, whatever. Um,
It's a
I'm
shame, man.
honestly, I don't know how to pronounce that, and I'm not even gonna try. I'm sorry, honey. Ben White is safe for Man City. I'm sorry. Like sometimes I just don't even want to do it because I feel bad.
You do a better job
Coach,
than me, man.
Coach says Southgate picking Henderson in 2024. Listen, like the U.S. is not good, but so I don't really like to speak on international, but like Southgate is an interesting character, isn't he? O'Malley says Ben White just doesn't give a fuck about Gareth Southgate's
Yeah,
politics.
probably that as well.
Yeah,
He's probably
it's
not doing the yes sir, no sir thing as well. Like
yeah,
as you said on my channel, Ben White is he's a bit different, in it? Like he does it
yeah,
his way, but I don't necessarily even agree with that because Ben White can have all his ideas and whatever. If you didn't fall in line to what Mikel Arteta wants, you wouldn't be here or you wouldn't have been identified. So, as you said, Jesse, so a weird one, man. We'll never know until Southgate or Benjamin tell us what's what. So
yeah.
yeah,
He
man.
doesn't really do like Jorginho said in his like little like describe Ben White, that he's hard to get to know or he's tough to get to know. And there's like a misconception about who he is based on how he presents. Like he's more quiet, he's not, and I feel like the England setup right now, because of the way that Southgate has built it, is very raw. Like raw
He's
friends
probably
get
not pally
involved.
pally. He just keeps
Yeah,
to his own
exactly. And
corner
Ben
and does
White's
his
probably
own
just
thing.
standing there like, okay, like
Proper weird, man.
can I go now? So it probably just didn't mesh. Oh, Barkley didn't get into the squad. Sidebar, do you think he should have gotten a call up?
I mean, in current form, I think him, Foden, Saka, Ben White, Ollie Watkins, these are some of England's best performers. So, yeah, and definitely, well, I wouldn't necessarily take Barkley to the Euros, but based on certain players that do get called up, Barkley
Yeah.
has a case. He has a case. But Southgate's got his favourites, man, really. And I can't necessarily, even with Southgate, not defending him, I can't say that's a bad thing. You can't pick a whole squad of players in form, nor can you pick the ones you trust. And, England's a unique case because I don't think Southgate is the guy. But when I look at it in my 28 years, for all the golden generations and all this jazz, England have probably done, this has probably been the best time England have ever been in my life, really and truly, getting to semis and finals and things like that. I played France off the park and messed it up. So, yeah, man. Kobe Mainoo got in. They're well deserved, if I'm completely honest with you. Big him up, but that's probably going to be a one cap and done, or just to see what he's like up close and personal. I don't think he goes to the Euros, but Kobe Mainoo of United, unfortunately, baller, man. Absolute baller.
I think Southgate will choose his normal people for the Euros. I don't think there'll be very many. I feel like this is kind of like a show pony. Like, I'm gonna give you a chance. Some of these guys, like
this is the last one before the Euros as well. So
he'll
probably
choose
made his squad up already.
Yeah, like Bowen and Anthony Gordon, and these guys won't make it.
Bro, this is an experimental one. Damn.
Yeah, I do think that Cole Palmer will probably be like the one outsider that makes it in. Because I think he's really good. But either way, like,
swear down, Henderson still made it.
Yeah, he did.
Man.
I don't see Kobe Mainoo.
Yeah, I can't see him either, man. I don't know. That comment said he's not here. It's Bellingham, Gallagher, Henderson, Maddison, Declan Rice as the listed midfielders. Obviously, Foden, Cole Palmer, these guys can play in those roles as well.
Yeah, because we
got Lewis Dunk.
Like, the problem is that they know they're gonna play Declan Rice, and they know they're gonna play Jude. So there's one other spot, and he's gonna pick his running dogs in Conor Gallagher and Henderson, and then there's just room for Maddison.
I think left back's open because obviously Chilwell's probably going to go, but Braithwaite can play out wide as well as centre half. Joe Gomez can play centre half as well as play out there. So, mate, it's based on what you've asked me, Jess, and just by looking at this, it's a very experimental squad. It's the last one before the Euros. This is the one where, let me have a look at what these guys are about, essentially.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is. Like, I love Ben, and I'm just happy that he's our player. Like, it doesn't matter. I do want to talk about, Arsenal have been starting to plan for Ramsdale's exit. And Ramsdale did make the squad, which is good for him. Hopefully he goes to the Euros, because it would be a shame for him not to, because he hasn't been playing with us. But Arsenal have been linked to several backup goalkeepers. But before we get into that, how did you feel about Matt Turner while he was our backup?
Come on, you shit, man. I don't have to pretend he's good. He's a good guy with shit. Like, he's shit, man. Like, he was shit. Proper shit. Like, he was crap, bro. Like, I've big him up for the City game in the FA Cup. He was lit, but he was shit, man. Like, he was mad shit. And big up Matt Turner.
Mad shit.
Nah, he was crazy shit. Crazy, still. I
swear he got
Runnerson. Shit, man. You're just backing your countryman. He was shit, man. I promise you, he was horrible.
Was he as bad
as
Runnerson?
He did not fit the system. Huh?
Was he as bad as Runnerson?
The bars on the floor. Runnerson, he shouldn't be a footballer. No, he's way better than Runnerson. That's the worst Mikel Arteta signing. Arteta must have got paid for that. He was shit. Matt Turner was shit. Matt Turner was shit.
I feel like there was always an extra bit of hate on it.
No, it's nothing to do with him being American.
They were from the MLS. There's
no, it's nothing. It's nothing to. I can't speak for any of that, Jess, in it. But from what you know of me, come on, I don't do all of that. I don't give a fuck where your country is. If you're good in it. Matt Turner was shit, man. You were nowhere near Ramsdale. And that's actually one thing I like this season, in that obviously Raya's playing week in, week out. At least them two can push each other, right? Ramsdale's here, Turner's there. You can't play out from the back. He was a stopgap signing. The fact that he was here for a year tells you that was the case. Shit, man. Matt Turner, shit. You can't tell me Matt Turner's good. Come on, man. Matt Turner's crap. Pick him up. Listen, if he plays for America and he does a madness, that's great stuff. But he was shit, man. Matt Turner was horrible. And I'm not even trying to diss him. It upsets me to say that.
Here's my thing, though. I do feel like because we've had several seasons, not on purpose, but like because it just happened that we've had 2 number 1 goalkeepers. Arsenal fans have got it in their heads that they have to have 2 number 1 goalkeepers. We just need that. A solid number 2.
Okay, let me ask you that. Let me ask you you. Okay. You said that, yeah? Would you, hand on your heart, say Matt Turner is solid? Hand on heart, he's solid.
Hand on heart, I thought he was solid as a number 2. Yes,
no, I don't ask for thinking. Do you think he is? Let's not do the PR thing. Do you think he's a solid
heart, keeper? He was solid for a number 2 goalkeeper.
Well, he couldn't have been, Mike, because he's gone now, ain't he? But fair enough.
He's gone because we made a profit.
I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, great. No, that's the best thing he did. That's his best performance. But he does not look. I'm looking at his stats now. He don't look like someone that's played 30 odd games for America. He don't look like someone that's played 99 times in the MLS from what I saw. And the very fact that he's played 17 times in the Premier League, people, tells you he's not 30. He's played 21 times for Nottingham Forest. So that tells he ain't played every game. He's been dropped. He's shit, man.
So because you've been dropped and you were Arsenal's number 2 and now you're Nottingham Forest number 2, you can't be a solid number 2.
You've got to be shit.
He's showing that in the Premier League, he's a number 2.
You can be a good number. Number 2s rarely play. You can do that. You can do that. But when you're called into action and you show me your shit, if you're on the bench all the time, great. He's shit, man.
If you're
shit, man, I can't believe
number
this.
2 goalkeeper, where are you on the bench? Like.
So he's okay. So he's lit for that. That's great. If you never are called in, if you're never called into action, then you're amazing. If you're just sitting on the bench traveling like Cedric, that's great.
He ain't never did nothing to nobody.
He ain't. I'm not. Listen, this is nothing personal to Matt Turner. This is nothing personal to Matt Turner. You're a good guy, Arsenal fan. Boom, boom, boom. You're shit, bro.
In the back of the mind, it was like he's American. He can't.
It's nothing to do with that. You're projecting him to me. No, I don't care about him being American. He's just shit. If he was Jamaican, I would say he's shit. If he's from Barbados, I would say he's shit. If he was from, I don't know, Afghanistan, I would say he's shit. He's shit.
I am so disappointed.
He's shit, man.
So you didn't rate Matt Turner. You thought he was the worst goalkeeper in the world.
No, because there's been worse Arsenal keepers. So I don't think he's the worst keeper in the world. I just think he's shit.
So, but we need a solid number 2 because as much as I see people in the chat that are saying like, "Oh, can I talk?"
I'm sorry.
You are being very rude on my channel right now.
I'm sorry. I want to get invited back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I'm like,
look, best behavior, aren't you? Look.
Okay, so we need a solid number 2, and as much as people are saying keep Ramsdale, that is just to me just so not it. We have to make a profit on Ramsdale. I feel like it just makes the most sense to sell him on. So Arsenal are looking for a number 2. So they've been linked to there's 2 different guys, and I already know which one you're going to pick because one of them plays in America.
Oh, come on, don't do that, man.
So Arsenal are following the situation of Las Palmas goalkeeper Alvaro Valles. The 26-year-old will have 1 year left on his contract in June. And also Arsenal are also eyeing Columbus Crew goalkeeper Patrick Schultz.
What did you say? I didn't hear you. It cut out.
Let's just say he's an American goalkeeper because that's all you need to know. So what do you think are like, if you were to a number 2, like, is there anything that you want to see with a number 2? Like, I know some people are like, okay, we need somebody that at least can play out from the back at a decent standard. Is that something you want to see? Do you even care? Because like some people don't care at all. But one thing about Matt Turner that I do think was a disconnect is that he wasn't a.
I'm listening. Come.
Anyways, he is on time out. Wow. See, he got real comfortable on this channel. He got real comfortable. And I think some of you guys in the chat made him think that he could say whatever. Should we bring him back? Let me know in the chat. Do you think we should bring DG back onto the channel right now? Because I was in the middle of talking, he got real rude. Who talks to their auntie like that? Who talks to their auntie like this? He is so rude. Respect your elders. Now,
Well, you could have muted me at least. Damn. I ain't come back.
Just no, it's more dramatic if I just take you out. Like if I just take you out. Now, what do you feel like your number 2 goalkeeper needs to have? Like, do they need to be good with playing out from the back? Like, what is the vibes for you?
I mean, it's a techie one. It's a very, really tough one because naturally, in general, nobody wants to be on the bench. It's a delicate situation knowing you're primarily going to be on the bench. You have to find someone that's kind of content with that, but then someone that can obviously push, in Arsenal's case, Raya. Obviously, the present day, you need a keeper that can play out from the back. Arteta demands that. So we're going to need to find somebody of that ilk, wherever they're from. So yeah, that's what we need, man. If we could, obviously, I'm not saying not to get someone like Ortega, but you look at, because you mentioned on my channel, Edison, you got Edison and then you've got Ortega, someone like that. Even on some occasions, Ortega's actually played ahead of Edison when he's been dropped for form. So ideally, someone that fits what Arteta wants, but kind of accepting. Maybe someone on the opposite end of the spectrum, maybe someone that's in their 30s, kind of a bit like Jorginho, kind of realistic about your situation and when you come in or not. But I don't know, man. But you'd imagine from the summer we had to have been looking for a keeper because we could have anticipated that if we bring in Raya, no matter what Mikel Arteta says, Ramsdale's not going to get game time like that. So, yeah, man, I would say.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not something that it's not a sexy topic to talk about number 2 goalkeepers. It's like, just get it done. Who cares? But we have seen that, like, when you need them, it is important. And so just in case something were to happen to Raya, that goalkeeper has to be able to step in and play at a decent level. So, and play our style, you know, so that's definitely it. I do want to do a little short Q&A, about 15 minutes of that, if you guys are down for it. I'm going to put the little thingy up that says,
for answering questions, honestly, on this platform. Thought this was a democracy, not a dictatorship, but it's all right. It's cool. Damn, I didn't do you like this on my platform.
Oh my goodness.
Can't believe it.
You are out of control today. Okay.
Hey, you started it, man. You got me for Kiwior, but go on. Let me behave. Look,
because Kiwior is good and it was obvious, and you went on this little rampage about him not being any good, and I was like, this is going to come back to bite him so badly. And I tried to warn you, and like,
where did I say Kiwior's not good? Where once have I said Kiwior's not good? I've said confident, and if I can speak without being thingy, I've said I think it's confidence. I said I think it's confidence. I think he needs to run the games, but you've got to earn that. As much as I praise you for your recent run, you got hooked at, and I'm not using this as a stick to beat him with, but you got hooked at halftime against Fulham. You ducked out of a header at Sporting. You're playing around with your boot at Brighton. These moments make you. I can only go off what I'm seeing. I want him to be better. He's so good, so good. I want Arsenal to get over there. I ain't got time to be. I don't pick players and stuff. It's all Arsenal. He's brewing. He's like Corrigo. It's a slow cooking process. Big up Kiwior. Damn, but that means I hate him. Football fans are fickle, way.
Exactly. This is a gestatorship, just like Just a J said. And so if you say, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, you hate him. And that's just all it is. You do not like him. It's really sad. I don't know what
man. Big up Kiwior, man.
You guys get your questions in so that we can answer them. Make it
I've got Kiwior on the back of my Arsenal shirt, so I gotta be a hater.
You do not.
How do you know?
Because I know you don't. Because you hate him.
You don't know nothing. I do.
Do you even have any players on the back of your shirt?
Yeah. Kiwior.
Who?
Kiwior.
Oh, gosh. This is just like we're in fantasy land right now.
I'm a Sunday League fullback like Kiwior, so I support the left backs.
Not a Sunday League.
Kiwior number 15, isn't it? Yeah.
Kiwior has more assists than you ever had in your life.
That's great. He's a professional footballer. Show me your highlights then.
No.
Not them shit penalties on LinkedIn.
You said he was... See? This is how you get in trouble.
You came for me. Like
I haven't played in like 15 years.
Yeah, so you're Ten Hag. I'm super Mikel Arteta. Allow it, man. Like, allow it, man.
Look.
But as you said, this is your platform. Let me stop, man. Like,
I mean, last time I checked, this is my channel, and
She
you're
knows
being a
Arsenal.
bad guest, a very bad guest. Okay, Graham says, "Is DG still being as shameless as always?"
Oh, Graham, man. It's not nice.
That
No.
was nice. That was a great question, Graham. Thank you so much. I appreciate
He's a
that.
regular on my show. He's forgetting where he came from, man. Graham, is this how you're doing me? Damn.
Yeah,
Got me
me
feeling like
too. My
Aaron
second
Ramsdale now,
channel,
man.
the Diluted Gooner channel, is my second channel. You will learn this. They'll start asking, like now you start doing lives, they'll start asking for you. And
The
asking for
way I'm
me.
gonna start building receipts on you, don't worry. If it
You
doesn't
can't
matter if it's a
build
year,
receipts.
2 years, 10 years
You
from now,
can't build
you're
receipts
done.
on me.
You're
You
done. You're
can't.
done. You're done. You're done.
Oh, I'm done.
Every dog has
Okay.
their day. You're done. You're done.
Okay.
The
Okay.
minute you lack, I'm there.
Okay. All right. Andy says, "Do you see this season as progression still if we go on to fail to win a trophy?"
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could be. I'm not saying Andy's being lazy. Obviously, everything we're doing is geared up to win trophies. Mikel Arteta said it himself and alludes to it. Of course, we want to win trophies. That's why we're breaking transfer records. We're making difficult decisions. So I understand it, and especially these last 2 seasons, you kind of want, and this year as well, you kind of want something in history that no one can take away from us. So if that's how people look at it, fair enough. But for me, it's still progression. Obviously, if you progress at something in life, there's going to be bumps and bruises and things you could do better. And I do think the conversation is now going to, yes, the rebuilds there, and we're one of the most envious teams in the Prem, but can we go and get one of the big boy trophies? I still think it'd be progression. I think we've taken bits and elements of what we've done last season and been a bit more uglier and cuter. I would say the main thing is, as Jess was saying earlier, like, we would have lost the Brentford game last season or dropped points. We're getting it done. The Porto game could have went left or right. So I would say progression, but it needs to end with a trophy, because also, as Jess said, we both would have loved to have stayed in the FA Cup and brought something. For now, I think it's the fine margins for us now. It's about that illusion of perfection now, for me anyway. So I would say it's progression, if I'm honest.
This is a big step up for Arsenal in terms of what the expectations were for this season, and like the amount of like newness to
They
everything.
said it was a
like,
fluke last year, Jess.
yeah,
It's still up there.
we had to be in the title race this season, where last season it wasn't even like a thing. Like, we were thinking of top 4. This season we're in the Champions League and people expect us to get far in it. And it's not the same as Europa League, because in Europa League we could play, really weak lineups in the group stages.
And mess around with it.
Yeah, it's different. I do think that the cup competitions domestically, that has to change next season. I just don't understand why we're so poor in them. That being said, if we go all the way to the end of the season and we lose within a point or so, and now that we've gotten to the quarterfinals, I would think that it's progression, especially since I do think the football, if we continue to play the same football that we played since Dubai, that's the best football I've seen an Arsenal team play under Mikel Arteta. And I know that that's like, probably a little bit like controversial to say, because last year's football was put on such a high pedestal, but
we're more street smart this year for sure.
Yeah, we're so much more. This looks more like title winning type football rather than just like, this looks good. Last season was vibes. This season is more business, so
less naive.
Yeah, exactly. I like that a lot. Philip says, question to you both: where would you rate a Kiwior Tomiyasu partnership compared to the other Prem teams' first choice CB partnerships? What do you think that would look like? Have we ever seen that before? I don't think we have. Those two play together in the back line.
Giving cup vibes, really, if I'm honest with you. They both can play centre half and do quite well. I don't think they'll question anyone in the top 6. Well, the way Man United and Chelsea are playing, they'd probably be first choice over there, isn't it, really and truly? Probably lower end. No disrespect to both of them, because I actually feel they'll complement each other well. It's just, it's very hard to see that visually and then how it would correlate on a pitch. But I think it'd be all right. But I don't think it'd be top 6 worthy.
If you had to choose between Kiwior or Tomiyasu stepping in for Gabriel during the run-in, if something were to happen to him, who would you choose?
It's a techie one, man, because Kiwior's form's been out of this world. Obviously, he's a natural left-sided centre-half. Tomiyasu, as I said earlier, he's someone that needs a bit of a run. But I still worry about Kiwior when pulled into wide areas, and I think Tomiyasu's a bit better at that. So if it was just based on the dynamics we find ourselves at this moment in time, Kiwior deserves it. And 100% I got confidence in him. My bias would be to Tomiyasu, though, because he plays there for Japan as well, really, at
Yeah.
occasions.
I feel like I agree with that. Like, I think Tomiyasu to me, must you just be adversary all the time?
I just
Oh my
said,
God.
wow. Like, I genuinely, like, I don't get agreed with. I must be doing all right, man. Like, I'm honored. It's a big, big honor.
Oh my goodness. This is hilarious. Okay, so yeah, I agree probably with Tommy too. Blaze says, Jess and DG, what you expect from Arsenal in the quarterfinal of Champions League? Do you think we can compete against world-class players and the best managers in Champions League?
It's the age-old question, man. On the day, anyone could beat anyone, but it's fine margins. And again, we got over the line against Porto, but when we removed the emotion and the euphoria and the fact that we've done it, I think there's many things we need to improve. We need to be a lot more street smart away from home. And although we got it done and we was at the Emirates, as you said earlier, you could see, I would say Saka and Saliba in particular, they finally look like young boys. So there's them kind of things there. So, well, I mean, we've shown we're in it. So I guess we can compete, but it depends what you specifically mean by competing. If it means getting over the line, I'm not sure really. If I'm completely honest, Blaze, man, I can't give you a definitive answer really. But we're in it. Let's give it a chance.
The thing about playing in the Premier League is that, like, I don't think you end up coming up against some of the best players in the world. I think the Premier League is the best league in the world, but that's different than coming up against the best players, if that makes sense. So, like in the Premier League, you're not coming up against Rodrigo and Vinny. You're not, in the Prem, you're not coming up against you're not coming up against Mbappe, and those are different than coming up against the people in the Premier League that we rate, like Bowen or these guys. It's different because they're of a different ilk, and I just, it's a new thing for us. Like, if we were to draw PSG, seeing fucking Mbappe run towards Ben White, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is like insane, so it's a different vibe altogether that I think we're still getting to grips with.
And also our manager as well. It's a different vibe for him as well. He ain't been here before. So I don't know, man. I guess we just have to go through the teething problems and hope that we do well this season. But if not, in years to come, we're more battle hardened, if that makes sense. Please.
Yeah. I mean, look at how Arteta's progressed in the Premier League. First year was a real big struggle, then fifth, then second. But the football has progressively gotten better and really shot up a lot. Which is great. So I think he can learn quickly in the Champions League. We just have to continue to get the opportunity. And just look at how Man City were in the beginning when they first got into the Champions League. They had to deal with the Monacos and the Leons, and it wasn't easy, so it's going to take us a minute.
Even
for
Spurs
sure.
A few years ago, man.
Yeah, and Pep is a world-class manager. Arteta's never done any of this before. So, yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Jagoon says, question for DG, why do you lie about 28 when you're 19? Why do you lie? Why must you lie?
I don't know, man. I don't know. When I came to this country, that's how I got a passport, man. I guess so. I don't know, Jay, man. I don't know. I get told I look 19, and some people say, do you know what? There was one comment on my YouTube. It made me want to cry once, actually. It was like, they're like, why do you look 90 and 17 at the same time? I was like, damn, I must be a black Benjamin Button, but I'm still the baby face killer, man. One of the most sexiest in this,
Oh my gosh. You go out in real life and do that?
Yeah, come on, man. You know my tick striker. No,
wait, I'm gonna
come
get
on, man.
The impersonation. Oh my gosh.
Come on, man.
Hilarious.
What a nasty comment. But what a nice guy. Big up yourself. I can't help it, man. I can't help it.
Oh man. Jay says, are we ready for Fabio to pop up in this run-in? Absolutely. Yes, I am. Another one that DG hates.
Don't start. No. I'm not having that. I'm not having that because I've never dissed Fabio Vieira. I've said with Fabio Vieira, you just need to eat food. You're ready. You just need to eat. And you need to take someone's spot because the reality is, Jorginho's coming off that left. Xhaka was playing there when you was there. Kai Havertz was playing there. Probably going to sign a midfielder. You're not getting ahead of Martin Odegaard in that 10. Obviously, you played off the right sometimes. You're not like a Cole Palmer, a Foden, a Bernardo Silva kind of wide playmaker. So it's a madness, really. Fabio's my guy. Allow it. Fabio, don't like Fabio Vieira. I'm a Wenger baby. Anyone that can play some nice passes, I will support you. You know, me. I ain't come back here, man. This has not been nice. This has not been nice. My looks, people are coming for my looks. I've been kicked out. All for being a good looking, knowledgeable Arsenal fan. You know, this is crazy.
This is like the Metropolitano or whatever. This is like going to the Etihad. This is like
it's easier than the Etihad. It's worse than the Etihad, man. Like it feels like there's a million eyes on me here, man. They got like 2 fans over there.
Yep. This is the Bernabeu. It's tough out here. And you are not Henry. You are not.
Wait, you're right. I'm lying. You're right. I'm messy, man. Like, silence all these stadiums there. Like,
rank these 3: De Jong, Zubimendi, Amadou Onana. In terms of who would you want at Arsenal? Rank.
I mean, at Arsenal, obviously we do want De Jong in it, but I actually think what would be a better fit away from his ability and things, I'd say Zubimendi first. In fact, let me just do what my heart is saying. De Jong, Zubimendi, Onana. That'd be me, man.
Yeah. This is a good question. We'll end on this. If someone told you at the start of the season that before the last international break would be top on goal difference in the UCL quarters, but out of the domestic cups, would you have taken it?
I didn't know he was top, so yeah. I didn't know he was top into that comment. I didn't know. I don't look at the league table.
It's just such nonsense.
I don't. Why do
you think that makes you? Do you think that makes you better, like a better fan that you don't?
I didn't see. Now this is where I said like I'm like Zlatan Ibrahimovic because I don't think I'm better than anyone. I don't know. I can't see. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I can't see. My head's down. No, it doesn't make me better. I don't see the point in looking at the league table. You know, I know where Arsenal start in August. I hope where they're at in May. You know, for me, being top of the league is just seeing us improve our defense, our attack, the options Mikel Arteta is doing, the street smartness. That's looking at the league table to me. That's winning the league to me. Anything else is a bonus. I am not looking at the screen. Like I'm not looking. I know I can't see myself at the corner of my eye. I don't want to look at the league.
This is just see how he acts. How he acts, you guys. Nonsense.
You just got to keep working hard. If what you lot are saying is true, that we are top of the table and fighting for a title, like. That's crazy, man. That's unheard of. Arteta's really doing well, man.
Just absolute nonsense. You guys, just a little update. Me and Harry will be on the channel tomorrow. We'll do a little live for you guys, Friday nonsense. So make sure you guys check that out. We're going to end the show here, but I want you guys to, next time that we come together, I want you guys to have thought of a good name for the show. There's 250 of you guys in here. So I want you guys to come back. Next time we do this, hopefully we could do this next week. Do you think we could do the show next week?
Yeah.
He's so hard to connect with.
You aired me the last time and said, "Oh, I lost my phone." Now it, man. Like I lost my phone. Sorry.
Okay, first of all, I would never sound like that. I would say it like I left my phone.
Never sound like
I
that.
left my phone.
Whatever.
Because I did. I had to get a new phone, you guys. Short story. I had to get a new phone because when I was in New York, I got to New York that night and it was 7:00. I was about to walk out to go get something to eat downstairs in the hotel. And I dropped my phone on the bathroom floor and it shattered. So then I had to go to a Verizon store. Mind you, they closed at like 9 and it was already 7 without a phone. You know how hard that was?
Why didn't you have a case?
You know how difficult? Huh?
Why didn't you have a case?
So I had to go with no phone. How do you even like, I had to use Uber on my computer, close the computer, like get into the Uber. Like it was an insane mission. But I didn't have my phone and I was out of town. So I couldn't do the show last week, but hopefully we can do the show.
No, we will do it next week. But you haven't answered the most important question everyone wants to know. Why wasn't there a case on the phone?
I just didn't have one on there, but I have one on there now. See?
Right. See, prevention better than cure, man. You got to, use that, man.
I'm good. So yeah, tomorrow, Harry and I, but next time me and DG are on the channel, you guys need to have good names for the show. I want a name. I will go with something like Jess is better than DG. he's deluded, she's not, something like that.
Like I said, Zlatan Ibrahimovic lifestyle, people. I'm not, we look up there. We're not concerned with what other people are doing. It's different. It's innovative over here, man. This is what we do, man. We trust our own processes. We don't compare ourselves to anyone, It is what it is, man. I'm on this Lionel Messi thing. You're good, though. Like, I'm like Messi. You're like, yeah. I'm like Lionel Messi. You're Reece Nelson. You're good as well. You're doing your thing.
I'm like Reece Nelson.
You're like Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah and them, man. You do your thing. You do your thing.
All right, let's see if you make it out of Anfield alive next time, because right about now.
To be fair, I've survived, man. I've survived. Yeah. I'm moving like West Ham in December, but I got the 3 points today for all the possession and that. But hey, I'm out of it.
Yeah. If you guys want more of this and you guys weren't on our earlier stream, make sure you guys head over to DG's channel, aka My Second Home. I actually own it and I let him rent it. So let him rent his channel. But you guys can go over there. We covered some of the same things, but some different things at the same time. So make sure.
I hope I'm like you when I'm older, auntie, man. You're very gracious in your old age, man. You still keep that sense of humor, man. I really, really respect that, man. It's a testament. I really want to be like that. I really want to be like that when I'm 70.
What's really strange is that we're kind of the opposite. I still look young, even though I'm old, but you're giving old, even though you're young.
Life, man. Life.
Hopefully, you can be a little bit like me. Maybe I'll give you a little bit of, my skincare regimen. So.
Nah, that's the lighting, man. That's all makeup and the lighting. I'm lit. Watch next week, man. My hair's cut. When my hair's cut, boy, do you know how much more women are gonna come in this live chat just to pre my looks? Are you crazy? Bro, Arsenal need to shout me for the next kit release. Are you crazy? Crazy?
So make sure you guys shout out.
Are you crazy?
Give him a Kiwior kit.
Yeah, no, I've got a Kiwior kit. I've already got it. Like, I rate Kiwior. That's my guy, man. Kiwior for me. Kiwior should be player of the season.
Guys, we're going to get out of here. Make sure you guys subscribe to DG's channel. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to this channel, set up notifications so you guys don't miss another show. We'll be back on Friday. It'll be Harry and I to chit chat a little bit more. Hopefully it won't be as brutal as this. And we'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.